Let's look at this big pillar. This is called the nail or the monolith. Interesting.
So I can only choose one? I thought I was done with these tests.
Left self or right weapon, you can only choose one. What does it mean? That pulls that. Right weapon will grant fracture or undo. Left self will grant shape or manipulate. I think the first time I played, I used that. So let's do fracture or undo this time. This could be cool. Interesting. So we're the first director to have this power, and it refers to this crystal as barnacles, which is kind of interesting. So we have four things we need to do to, we need four things we need to do in order to achieve our goals here in the Foundation. Kill the snooping hiss, and I guess fix the 4 keys to repair the nail. Alright, that doesn't, those don't count as hits though, so whenever I use my gun to break that, it is a use of ammo. Like, it doesn't refund on hit like the, like hitting an actual enemy does. So that's something to be considerate of, I suppose. All right.
Okay, let's review. This broken pillar is called the Nail. It was broken by something, and now the astral plane is bleeding into the foundation, which will destroy the oldest house, the bureau, and everyone inside. I need to find 4 locks, or keys, or whatever, to stop that from happening. But I'm the director. I've handled worse. This should be simple-ish. You with me?
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable, which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made a discovery. A pistol placed on a stone pedestal in front of that strange ebony pillar. Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns. But it is the perfect lure for someone like him. Hours after finding this weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ran it about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me. Strangest thing? There was no pedestal in front of that pillar a day ago. This building has swallowed a dozen of my men, and now it's handing out presents? Is it playing some sort of game? If it is, we're most certainly losing. Hell, we don't even know the rules.
So that's casting some doubt on the board themselves as sort of a manipulative eldritch agent down here that made contact with Northmore and gave him the service weapon, which, as we now know, was not actually a thing that, existed for all directors. Including Ash's father, apparently. More foundational pillars. The pillar found in the crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has an undeniable allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overtly erect nature, but I'm more drawn to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is either the very heart of the oldest house or an intrusion within that heart. Perhaps it's like the husk of a seed, from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote that the great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then why does the pillar look so different from the rest of the place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see it as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus. I wonder if this pillar is any more welcome here than we are. Ley lines and their energies by Theodore Ashe, head of research. So now we know that Ashe was the head of research during Northmore's era. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's razor and all that. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So what is the true relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet, attracting them? Polar north? Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies? A sprout, nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power. Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Führer once believed him to be. All right, we have our first location we need to go to, which is right there. All right, we have unlimited. We have the not unlimited. We have max energy now as well, which is cool. Astral constructs. Let's upgrade our weapons, I guess. Which is the one that I'm using? This one, right? Yep. Now we can just upgrade basically anything that we have because we don't really need any of these resources anymore. Yeah, insufficient materials for upgrading that too, so we are good. Why is it saying that's full? Do I already have? Weird. All right, it's not letting me pick that up.
I've served under 2 directors. 3 now, I suppose. Trench and I worked our way up together. We made it through the tough cases, the bad days, the casualties. He was the epitome of a good agent. Smart, decisive, selfless. And he picked up that damn gun. Becoming director is a formal process overseen by the board. Lots of ritual and mystery. After that, key staff provide detailed briefs on all classified matters, past and present. But with Faden, well, there's no protocol for field promotion. The girl's smart, has a good head on her shoulders. I'm trusting her to handle the hiss upstairs, while I hold them off here. All this shit with the nail, the board, I'm not sure she's ready. Besides, I work better alone. Faden. Not sure she's ready.
I'm here, aren't I? I saved the Bureau once, and I'll do it again. Worse and worse.
Astral collision.
That's the cave sand. Looks like the astral bleed goes both ways.
Neat little twist on the energy battery formula here, this like conceptual version of that.
Hiss in the astral plane? That didn't go so well last time.
Fight for me, peon. No. What? There we go. You were getting boned there for a second with the crystal regrowth rate. My lack of ammo. Alrighty. Ooh. Thank you. Look at those reflections. So cool. This game's ray tracing still rocks. It's like really sick. It's a really simple but just really effective visual effect. Well, I lost it. Oh well. I'm not sure what it would have actually gotten me, but look at this. The earliest form of a control point. Now, if only I still had the other golden one. Ooh. There is another one, isn't there? Yes. Did the other hole right there get sealed up? I think it might have. Oh yeah, it just disappears if we go over here. Interesting. Yeah, so it's needed for this puzzle. There we go. There's nothing down there. Okay. It's like a big dice tower. Oof. Almost died there for a second. Where are you at? There you go. All right. Alrighty. Oh my god, did it not? Why didn't you fall? What the? Oh, this. Got it. Alrighty. Now we'll just head up here. Oh, I didn't even need to break the last one. It just managed to slip in. Perfect. There we go. Why is that not working? There we go. I really should just... Right? Why didn't that? Oh, I see. Much more convenient using charge for that. Hey, Narik. I forgot I can't hold those forever. Oh. Alrighty. Enemies are dealt with. And look, it's the board. It's right there. What do I gotta do, though? Oh, go down here. I didn't realize this was a control point. So, like, anxiety-inducing just floating like this. Oop. It's not great. Is there anywhere I can platform in order to get a leg up? Yep. There we go. Oh, wow, I died. Oops. I was not playing at, like, the pace I needed to be. Yeah, that's where we want to go. Right over there. Okay. I love the gold streaks in the stone. Just a cool touch. It's like very executive. All right, here we go. Oh, oops. Well, I'm safe right here. Here we go. I forgot that deals friendly fire. Oops. All right. That's not all I needed, is it? Where else then? Just need to make it over to the other side. There we go. Yeah, using charge for that is so much better than using the pistol. I don't know why I tried so hard with the pistol before. There we go. Astral Mimic. Astral mimics are physically indistinguishable from astral copies, but considerably more dangerous due to the fact that they possess para-utilitarian abilities. The most notable ability witnessed is levitation. It is unknown how this astral entity gained its paranatural abilities. The relevant objects of power are currently bound to Director Faden, which indicates the objects are not responsible. However, objects of power are intrinsically linked to the board in the astral plane. A similar link between the objects and the mimics could exist. Or perhaps the board is able to dispense these abilities at their leisure with no trial in the astral plane required. The prevailing theory, however, is that the entities are simply replicating observed abilities performed by the Hiss, or even the director herself, thanks to a prolonged exposure to our world caused by the astral bleed. Unpronounceable says, did this level differ in some ways when you chose the other power? Would be curious about the differences. It's been too long for me to remember the specific details, so... there are spots around here, like... These walls can be pulled on. Oh, God. No! Oops. I need to stop letting myself get winged like that. Okay. So my columns persist, which is convenient. Less work for me. I didn't really lose much progress at all. There we go. Grab you. Got him. Oh boy. Ouchies. Alright, shattered them into pieces. That should not have been too brutal. Unpronounceable says, the enemies here are the same entities that were in the start with the power tutorials, like when the board introduced Jesse to how to use a weapon. Yeah, so when you're in the astral plane, there are two types of enemies. There are Hiss, and then there are the board constructs, or the astral constructs. So as long as we're here, the Hiss and the astral constructs will actually fight against each other because they're opposed. Here we go. God, I love that. That shit rules. Did I already cleanse this? I did. Do we have anything to spend this on, though? Nope. Alrighty.
Entry day plus 86. There's been a change. Hercules and Mabel. I mean, it numbers 3 and 11 attacked my staff today. 2 fatalities. 3 if you count Mabel. She was always so kind. As a result, we are abandoning the Foundation. Northmore gave the order to transfer our resources to the upper floors. Now that my control points allow us to safely come and go from the New York streets. Did I forget to include that fact in my previous logs? I've been so busy using the arrays I made. Control points have been established throughout the oldest house. Excuse me if I don't sound excited, it's just... A few months ago, I would have been overjoyed to leave the Foundation. But now I realize I've grown fond of it. There's something deep in the stone here, deeper than that watching presence. Something warm. I feel it needing me. I won't go. I refuse. Northmore won't be happy, but so be it. I'm starting to see him for what he is. An impotent storm. Father Shade in a cheap suit.
Percival says his control points? Yeah, so he's the guy behind how control points were, like, discovered and created. So, they're his invention. I think this is the first key. This white rock key. Fuck. Seize him. That'll make the rest of this combat easier. Here we go. Oh no, my controller disconnected. Oh. Yeah, these things are prototype Alan Wake 2 enemies. Even down to throwing hammers at you. Oh.
Another etching, like the one I used to get in here. Is this the lock/key the board told me about?
So the former was here. Unprinciple says, I assume the oldest house was used before at some point, considering how they had different names for the weapon throughout the ages. So it's not clear exactly what the oldest house really was. As far as we know, the Federal Bureau of Control, as it currently exists, did not discover the oldest house until the 60s. And they didn't find the service weapon until the 60s either. Now, there might have been other junction points where Astral Plane and the board reached people, because we know that the holy, like the service, the service weapon is referred to by the board as like Mjolnir and Excalibur, but it's also unclear if it literally was like a holy weapon like that at some point in our history, or if it was just trying to communicate to us its power, and that's why it chose those words. Because remember, the board speaks in approximation. It doesn't speak our language. It speaks in meaning. So we can't take the words at face value, we can only take their meaning, like the import behind them. And Unpronounceable says, curious how they did use it then if they didn't have control points, at least not in this way. Yeah, so the whole point prior to this is that prior to finding the oldest house in the 60s, like the expedition logs we've been finding, that team said, oh yeah, we like explored the upper floors, but it was like too dangerous. Like the walls would crush us and like people would die. So they were exploring the more permanent, immutable lower floors. And it was through this exploration of the lower floors that they were able to find out how control points worked and stabilize the rest of the house.
Just doing my job. First one down. Director Faden's got this covered.
All right. So the nail has repaired slightly, and Emily is here, I think. Yeah, that's her right there.
Jesse, hey!
Emily, how did she get down here?